Hello. So we're gonna proceed with another book which calls Cambridge. It is a preparation book for IELTS, book number 1. You can find this book on my Telegram channel. So we start with reading passage 1 of the practice test 1, and on the left hand side we have a text. On the right hand side we have questions related to this text. Let's read the task. Complete the summary below. Choose your answers from the box at the bottom of the passage and write them in boxes 1 to 8 on your answer sheet. There are more words than spaces, so you will not use them all. You may use any of the words more than once. Early firelighting methods. So there is an example here. Primitive societies saw fire as a something example. Gift, answer, heavenly. So we don't have to read whole time to read whole text. We just read the task and highlight our keywords which we have to find from this text. They try to something burning logs or charcoal that they could create fire themselves. So here they were saying about burning logs and charcoals. This is going to be our keywords. And we have to find any information what exactly they try to do with burning logs and charcoals. And here there is a list of the words which you can see below, and it's as can be seen from the task. We can use one word a couple of times, more words, and so you will not use all of these words. You can use more words than once. So we go to the text and we try to find any information about burning logs or charcoals. So let's scan the text and let's try to find information about charcoals. We start from the first paragraph, and here at the end of the first paragraph there is a word charcoal. So let's read this sentence. Unable to make flame for themselves, the earliest people probably store fire by keeping slow burning logs alight or by carrying charcoal in pots. They were just trying to keeping slow burning logs alight or by carrying charcoal in pots. They were just try to keep burning logs or charcoal. So instead of keep, they can use here synonyms. As we can see, they were using the word preserve. So the answer to the first question is going to be preserve. We're going to highlight it, not to focus on it. And so we go further, that they could create fire themselves. So they were just, in this sentence, the same sentence, as you can see from the beginning, unable to make flame for themselves. Create fire for themselves and make flame and create fire. This is basically synonyms. So synonym phrases. So unable to make flame, unable. So we have to find the synonym or the same word. We don't have any unable word here, but we have unaware. So they were unaware that they could create fire themselves. So the answer to the second question is going to be unaware. It is suspected that the fire man-made flames were produced by something. So first man-made flames. So we have to focus on that and try to find missed word here in the following sentence. So we go to the text and we try to find any information about the first man-made flames. In the following paragraph they were saying about flame here, and it was made here and was made during tool making operations with wood or stone. So it was accidentally made by during tool-making operations. So in the third question, we're gonna say accidentally, or where exactly how it was done. It was done by accidentally or by the synonyms. Accidentally is going to be chance, by chance. So the answer to the third question is going to be chance. Go further. The very first fire lighting methods involved the creation of something by, for example, and they were saying about wooden stick and round hole. So they were saying about method. So I'm not going to highlight all first fire lighting method. I'm just going to focus on methods and to try to find missed word here. So go further with scanning and then try to find any information where any kind of methods are mentioned. So here in the following sentence, it was saying about method. Let's read this sentence. Studies of primitive society suggested that the earliest method of making fire was through friction. So the method was actually friction. So involves the creation of friction by, for example, so actually we have here word friction, and I'm going to highlight it. So the answer to the first question is going to be friction. For example, rapidly a wooden stick in a round hole. So I'm going to focus on round hole and to try to find any information about round hole further. So here in the following sentence, it was said about round hole. Let's read this sentence. European peasants would insert a wooden drill in a round hole and rotate it briskly between their palms. So this is a question number 5. So how exactly they were doing it? They were rotating it briskly. So the answer to the 5th question is going to be rotating. I'm going to highlight it here. And to go further, the use of something or persistent chipping was also widespread in Europe and among other peoples as the Chinese and someone. So I'm going to focus on Chinese and Europe, and this was a shipping. So this the use of it was a method, so which was used for shipping. So here in the following paragraph we have some information about shipping, but it was precaution method of firefighting date back to philanthropic times when the Stone Age toolmaker discovered that chipping flints produce sparks. So further was saying about Chinese lead, the first fires by striking porcelain with bamboo, and in Europe the combination of steel flint and tinder remains the main method of fire lighting until the mid-19th century. So the answer is gonna be this one, because this is a precaution methods of firefighting. So answer to this 6th question is gonna be precaution. We go further, Chinese and someone, and when it says Chinese and because it's gonna be someone like Mexicans or Eskimos. This logically we can come up to this answer, but anyways we have to be very careful with that and try to find who was that one. So it was saying here about in Arctic North America, Eskimos produce a slow burning spark by striking quartz against iron pyrites and a compound that contains sulfur. So it was Eskimos. I'm gonna highlight it, and I'm gonna highlight it here. So this is answer to the 7th question, and we go further. European practice of this method continued until 1950s. Discovery of phosphorus some years earlier. So where's phosphorus? So we'll go further and then try to find answer to the 8th question. To try to find information about phosphorus in the following paragraph. So we're mentioning about phosphorus. Let's read this sentence. Fire lighting was revolutionized by the discovery of phosphorus, isolated in 1669 by a German alchemist trying to transmute silver into gold. So the answer gonna say like, however, it was produced early, it was discovered earlier before this method. So just logically can come up with the missed word despite here. So we'll go further. Let's read this task. Questions 9 to 15. Look at the following notes that have been made about the match described in reading passage 1. Decide which type of match A to H corresponds with each description. To write your answer in the box 9 to 15 on your answer sheet. There are more matches than descriptions, so you will not use them all. You may use only much more, use any much more than once, so have to be very careful with that. Could be lit after soaking in water. It's H, which is here waterproof matches, and it was used when we're not gonna use it. But okay, it's, do you guys remember I was saying we can use more than once, so actually we can use it. So let's see, it's question 9. Made using a less poisonous type of phosphorus. So less poisonous type of phosphorus, so we're gonna focus on that, and then we're gonna figure out which one was less poisonous than phosphorus. So we scan the text and try to find information about less phosphorus matches. So there is no information about phosphorus in these paragraphs. And here they were saying about phosphorus, a red phosphorus, which was non-toxic, but it was which company? So it was invited by this guy, Lansom's safety matches. So the answer to the question 9 is gonna be F, which is Lansom's matches, safety matches. So I'm gonna highlight it. We'll go further. Identical to a previous type of match. So basically, I'm gonna focus on identical. So previous type of match. We scan further, and we try to find any information about the matches which were identical. So here, so they were saying about matches here again, and they were saying about copies. So let's see the sentence. Walker never patented his invention, and 3 years later it was copied by Samuel Jones, who marketed his product as Lucifer's. So the answer to the question 10 is gonna be D, which is Lucifer's. So we'll go further. Caused a deadly illness. So it caused illness. Which kind of matches caused illness? We'll go further and try to find information about matches which caused illness. Deadly illness, so it was saying deadly poison, and here saying about a disease. So what kind of? Because of white phosphorus. So let's read this sentence. But at the same time, French chemistry student called Charles Saurier produced the first strike anywhere match by substituting white phosphorus for the potassium chloride in the Walker's formula. However, since white phosphorus is a deadly poison from 1945, matchmakers posted to eat fumes succumbed to necrosis, a disease that eats away jawbones. So the answer is going to be first strike anywhere matches, which is this one, E. So we'll go further. First to look like modern matches. So modern matches is going to be our keywords. So and here we have about some information about matches, and it was saying about today. They look like today. The first matches resembling those used today were made in 1827 by John Walker, an English pharmacist who borrowed the formula from a military rocket maker called Congreve. So resembling, they were resembling basically. So the answer is gonna be Congreve. these matches will look like the modern matches. First matches, 13 question. First matches used for advertising, so our keyword is going to be advertising. And let's scan the text and try to find any information about advertising. So here there was some information about advertising, and let's read this sentence. The invitation didn't catch on until after 1869, when Burberry had the novel idea of advertising its product in matchboxes. So it was about book matches which were used for advertising. So the answer to question 13 is going to be book matches. And we go further. Question number 14 relied on a airtight glass container. So glass container. So we're gonna scan further and try to find information about glass containers. So here they were saying about glass tube. So let's read this sentence. So because for a formatted practical match really began after 1781, when a group of French chemists came up with a phosphorus candle, or the real match, a sealed glass tube containing a twist of paper tipped with phosphorus. So the answer to 14th question is gonna be A. This is ethical match. So question number 15, made with the help of an army design. So it was saying about army design. So we scan further and try to find information about army. As you guys remember, we were just had in the previous answer some information about the design of it, because it was saying that this John Walker, an English pharmacist who borrowed the formula from military rocket maker called Congreve. So military rocket maker Congreve. So it was inspired by them. So the answer to question 15 is gonna be C. It is Congreve type of match. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Have a good day. Good luck with your IELTS exam. Bye.